Have you ever wondered what the three things are that you know now that you wish you would have known when you started training? Stay tuned, and I'm going to tell you what my three are. All right, so thanks for joining. Today, I wanted to have a little bit of fun, and I sat and I thought, what are three things that I know now that I just didn't know when I started lifting weights? What would have been really nice to know? Because I'm sure we all have a bunch of them. And actually, I can't wait to hear yours. My number one thing, actually, let me go backwards. I'm going to start with number three. Number three is probably diet related. When I was younger, I had a very fast metabolism. I wrestled, I played football. I had a really hard time gaining weight, and I was reading all the diets in the magazines. And my grandmother, who worked in a restaurant, was bringing me home chicken, and I was eating a pretty clean diet, and I just could not gain any weight. And I ate so much chicken. She also was bringing me home whole eggs, which were a little better, but I thought that the yolk was bad for you, so we were actually making boiled eggs, and I was taking out the egg yolks and throwing away and eating egg whites. Now, how dumb was that? All right. So it wasn't until I told my grandmother to bring me home some sweeter stuff, some calorically dense stuff, that I actually started gaining weight. She would bring me home cherry pies. She would make me cornbread, and she'd make me big trays of cornbread, and I would mix it in milk, and I would chop it up and eat it. Still to this day, that's awesome. I wish I haven't ate it for a while, but when you're young and you're trying to gain a lot of weight, now you guys know I'm a big proponent of healthy diets, but if you need to gain weight and you have a fast metabolism, you have to eat calorically dense food. Fish and rice is not going to get the job done. You're going to need whole eggs where you don't throw the yolk out like a dummy that I was. You know, maybe you want to have a dessert every night. Maybe when you mix your protein shake, you're going to put some heavy whipping cream in it, or even some ice cream. Sometimes you just have to do that, and it's not just kids. There are a lot of you guys that are adults that have a hard time putting on weight, and you may have to do that. You may have to swap out the fish for some steak. Swap out the egg whites for whole eggs. But that's one of the things. Number two would be the training routines. So what I did was I got my training routines from Muscle and Fitness magazine. And I remember to this day my favorite ones. Lee Haney's chest routine, Lee Haney's back routine, Tom Platz's leg routine, Albert Beckel's arm routine, Rich Gaspari's arm routine, Rich Gaspari's chest routine. Anyways, the point I'm making is those are the routines that I used. Now, a typical arm workout in Muscle and Fitness was 16 sets for biceps, concentration curls, all kinds of stuff, and 16 sets for triceps. And I really think as a youngster, those routines were probably not the best thing for me. I think instead of it being so many sets, I think it should have been a reduced volume. And you also got to remember that the people in those articles have enhancement going, obviously, so they're going to, they can get away with training something once a week because they have additional substances they're taking in their body that helps them grow. But as a young natural kid, it was hard for me. That was another reason why it was hard for me to grow, was spending 30, 40 sets or doing 30 or 40 sets of arm work in the basement when I probably should have been doing something else. I'm not discounting isolation work, but what I am saying is isolation work shouldn't overrule all of your routines as you're a youngster in training. I wish it would have been more basic. That's number two. The number one on my list is really easy. I thought that you had to be really, really sore in order to make progress. That is 100% not true. If you get a little sore, that's okay. But I now believe that there is a level of soreness where you just went overboard. If your legs hurt so bad for like 6 days and you can barely train them again, you've probably created more muscle protein breakdown than you needed. And the problem is in order for you to grow, muscle protein synthesis has to surpass muscle protein breakdown. So when you've just annihilated yourself and muscle protein breakdown has taken you to the basement, you've got to build all the way back up before you can even break even. And that's probably another reason why I struggled so much to gain weight initially, was I just thought that I had to be really, really sore. So I would just do such high volume, 2-hour workouts, whole body workouts, sometimes 100 sets was not uncommon. Just go down in the basement after school and train for 3 or 4 hours. I was crazy and I wasn't afraid of hard work, and I did it. But as I got older and I figured out some more things about training, specifically how to help you recover from training, I made some of my best progress in my life with being relatively unsore at all. I went for a couple years and wasn't sore for one workout, and I made absolutely great progress. So don't use soreness as a measuring stick. I mean, if you get a little bit sore, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't think you have to be crippled, okay? So just to wrap the things up, don't think you have to be crippled sore for your workout to be effective. If you have a hard time gaining weight, you're probably not going to do it on fish and rice. I need you to eat calorically dense food, steak, eggs, avocado, oatmeal, maybe put some honey in it, maybe some ice cream, and then your training routines. If you have a hard time gaining weight, don't let isolation work dominate the routine. Keep some in there, but it shouldn't compromise the bulk of your routine. So I think if I knew those 3 things, I probably would have been able to make a lot more progress when I started training initially. So let me know what your 3 are. I'm anxious to hear it. Comment below, and if you like this video, please share it. Thanks.